to the individual elements of the full moon in Aquarius reading. So this reading is for all the people with the water elements, and we're going to start with Cancer. If you want to see or hear the overall energy of all the astrological aspects that I named in the full moon general forecast, you'll find that in my monthly moon readings playlist, or the last video upload, which will read the full moon in Aquarius. So I do suggest you go there because it is quite in detail, and this will affect everybody just across the board. And I'm sure there'll be duplications of the messages there here for the reading. This is for the Cancer rising, Cancer sun, and Cancer moon as well. And I kind of like the idea of that actually it's also the north node, the node of people with Cancer, but you would feel it. So wherever you've got strong Cancer, you will feel it. So if you've got quite a lot of planets and the moon is also highlighting on that, you would actually feel the effects of the full moon. The other thing as well with the Aquarius full moon, the reason it affects everybody is because we've all got Aquarius in our chart. So you want to also look possibly where that actually hits in your chart. So for example, if your Aquarius is in the house of 8th house, it was to do with the resources. So you might find that there's some highlighting about how you're getting paid, other people's money, or maybe issues around money. Also to do with your relationships. So you might find that certain things around your relationships, be it personal relationships or partnerships as well, being highlighted. If you've got Aquarius in the 3rd house, something like I have, it will to do with communication, could also be about short trips, family, siblings, that kind of thing. So it is actually quite fun to go and see where so you can always go into Google and sort of say full moon in. And if you've got a natal chart, look it up in the 3rd house, or Aquarius in the 3rd house, and you get, the impression, if you like, of what also is being highlighted. For me, again, just to give you an example, the 3rd house communication has been really coming up, that I need to communicate more, maybe make my boundaries very clear. So wherever you are at, it really is quite fascinating about how astrology and where the moon falls each month and how it actually affects our personal chart or blueprint. Okay, so this is for Cancer, okay, for all elements of Cancer. Now, let's see, this is what you need to see. This is what's being highlighted. And interesting, we've got the 6 of coins straight away. Okay, I'm just going to get my screen a bit larger here. All right, so this is for me to do with give and take. Okay, so it's definitely Cancers, you've been actually dealing with imbalances of giving or receiving. All right, so you might find that you actually need to sort of speak up as well. Okay, I did mention the throat chakra, and I'm not going to do individual chakras for these individual ones. Okay, but I will say that if you want to know the mantra as well, do go back to the main. I recommend you just go to the main one, listen to that, and then these are shorter. These are only going to be about 10 minutes long for each of the signs. Okay, so this is about you actually even being maybe made an offer out of the blue. All right, that is something that could be happening for some of you. It could be an unexpected job offer or some kind of financial windfall even, I'd say. All right, so this is what you need to see. Maybe you need to see where there could be something you're considering that could actually take you further along the way. And it could be an offer that is being considered, and you certainly want to consider it. Okay, it is going to be like a divine offering. I see the sign, the infinity sign as well. So I think it'll put you in good stead. Okay, this is what you really need to see. But mainly as well, I would feel that this is where you need to get the balance right. Are you offering your services in a way that satisfies you? Are you being rewarded for the services that you, are you being remunerated in a way that is helpful? Okay, make sure you are not afraid to ask for what you want. So if you're noticing an imbalance, which I think is really this theme as well, because one of the messages that was I got, that was the channeled message, if you like, was settling is not an option. So this is a theme across everyone, and I think yours in your case could be also monetary being very much emphasized. I also feel like maybe you need to balance or readdress where your how your time is being spent. Are you really tapping into your talents and skills? Okay, and then making sure that the offering is what you really want from your core. Okay, I've now opened a second card, which is really interesting. It's to do with the devil. Okay, so this is what needs to fall away. So I do feel like in some way, some of you have been holding on for sure at certain things that are no longer serving you. All right, you need to really consider what stimulates your heart and what is important. Some of you also could be very much kind of puppeted about. Okay, you're sort of stuck in a situation. you're offering your services, but it's not fulfilling you. You're feeling stuck, as if you can't actually untangle yourself from perhaps a job, a situation. And this could also be a relationship, by the way. All right. So where you're doing the giving and the offering and being the person who's always sacrificing your needs, and then the other person's taking. Okay. This is something that we need to all look at. Okay. It is something that's going to be highlighted very strongly. So here we've got the devil and we've got the 6 of coins. Okay, no, naturally, obviously, the coins tend to be something that's tangible, to do with money as well, or your skill sets and your talents and where you're offering yourself. But because this is a general reading, I will also maybe weave in some aspects that could be related to love as well. So again, be mindful about where this imbalance is happening. This is what you need to see, and you will be shown this. Okay, what needs to be falling away because of this insight and awareness that you're getting from the full moon will be to do with releasing all forms of attachment, codependency, or any kind of fear around what you deserve and what you don't deserve. Okay, this is very much about empowering yourself. Okay, the final outcome, or this is by doing that, okay, you have to actually take charge. Now, 2 things can happen sometimes when you outstay your welcome in a job or in a situation or in a partnership. Either the partner will suddenly end the relationship and you get really surprised when you've actually been really unhappy for a long time. You might find that actually the partner had been seeing somebody else or anything like that, or your employment somehow might end. Okay, we do have a Uranian aspect within the field of this full moon as well. Okay, it's going retrograde, so it is going to be operating on a level that's going to force you to look inside and maybe check in with where you have been participating and not honoring yourself. Okay, so what needs to definitely fall away is the codependence and the attachment that you have. Now, if you don't, the universe will do that for you. Okay, but let's see what will lovely. What will also, this outcome is here, the 3 of Wands, which I really like. Of course, it's perfect sequence here, because the 3 of Wands always is about, if you look at the figure here, he's looking at what's out there. This is looking at your options, even considering possible opportunities that might have come up. All right, this is about stretching your horizons. He's looking over the sea. Okay, this is about getting a higher view, maybe elevating yourself in a way that recognizing certain things have happened for you, so you can actually start living a life that will give you much more nourishment and actually take you to a better ground or better place in your world. Okay, this is also really important in the sense that you actually claim, if you like, your stake at what you really want, and not being afraid to actually speak up and really see what you need to do and actually move away from things that are no longer serving you. Okay, the 3 of Wands also is very much about travel. It's about actually moving into new territory. So this is absolutely fantastic, and I do feel for the Cancerians generally, what is here going for you is there is going to be a change. Now, I did, at the bottom of the deck, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so this is, again, very much the major arcana of confirming change coming your way. Okay, this is about the fortune changing. Now, with the Wheel of Fortune, it does go down. It's like a Ferris wheel and comes up. So if your fortune's been down, then this is very much an opportunity for you to see, how can I elevate myself, or even from outside, from the external factor, something coming in to take you to better ground, better possibilities, and you actually being really embracing the new possibilities. This also could tell me that in some way you've really worked at this for a long time as well. This is something you've been nurturing, wanting to have happen, and maybe not seeing the results, but things could be turning very much in your favor. Behind this Wheel of Fortune card, we've also got the Ace of Cups. So this is very much about emotional fulfillment, maybe moving towards things that are really going to give you the emotional fulfillment. If you have the courage to release anything that's imbalanced, it's like you're actually really honoring what your heart wants. Okay, and if this is to do with a relationship as well, and releasing the addictions or any kind of codependency, this is about you really believing, holding on to the belief as well, that true love can happen for you. Okay, it's only when we really don't believe or trust that love, true love, can be there, that we settle for very imbalanced relationships. Perhaps when you're being the provider of the income at home as a woman, perhaps you're the one supporting your partner all the time and paying for things. It could be the other way around, of course, as well. Okay, but this is about an imbalance. This money exchange, as well as, of course, an energy exchange. So it can also mean when you're emotionally always supporting your partner, which is also comes at a cost. Okay, because it drains you out and it makes you kind of lose. You know, this is also a very depressing card, that the devil. It's when you kind of caught up in a web of entanglement that's actually very not fulfilling. But this is about, you know, in the position of what's falling away. This is an opportunity for it to fall away just by it happening itself, or you realizing that you're taking charge for it to happen. But I do feel that in some way, for a lot of Cancerians, you're really waking up to the fact that your heart needs, your emotional needs, are very, very important. Okay, and this is something you can have. This is definitely the energy behind. And just beneath that as well, just very quickly looking, we've got the Five of Wands in the reverse, which is lovely as well, because Five of Wands often for me is about people being argumentative behind, you know, in conflict, debates, or, you know, sort of arguing about certain issues or getting a lot of trouble from a lot of people. This is on the reverse, which means you're coming out of the situation. So make sure that you're able to actually clear any misunderstandings. It's a really good time as well for generally everyone, but particularly Cancerians, anybody who's in a situation, perhaps to be able to negotiate and speak out, and just know that things could actually work in your favor. All right, so the other thing is I've had this deck of cards for years and years and years and years, and I've decided to somehow bring them out this time. Now, the other advice I also have for Cancerians is really to get body-based, okay? To really use your body to do some exercises. And if you're feeling some tension, you got this card. Okay, so, you know, really use, you know, you can actually elevate your shoulders up towards your ears, breathing in and breathing out. It says here, practice progressive muscle relaxation. Okay, focus your attention on one group of muscles starting from your head, ending down to your toes. So this is really good advice. And this is often, if you go to yoga, you find that you sort of lie down in savasana and then you actually sort of relax each and every bit of your limbs. This might serve you to do if you're feeling that quite tense, certainly at night, so you can get a better night's sleep, or just generally take breaks in the day if you feel like you're getting in the head. Just doing some focused exercise or shoulder shrugs or releasing the tension will help you to come back into your body, release the tension in your head and the noise in your head particularly, and also help to relax the muscles. Okay, it just says here, progressive muscle relaxation is a good technique to practice if you have problems falling asleep. So again, this could be some advice that for some of you that you might need, that doing some physical release will help you. Okay, now the other thing as well, a little bonus here, I've got a crystal here that came to me for your reading. Okay, and this is about you believing in your own decisions. All right, this is called Amazonite. All right, and it says here, making your own decision enables you to make good decisions, especially when changes are required. Sometimes we can also sort of rely on other people and go towards other people who might not have the best interest at heart as well. And this is where you become discerning. Okay, just make sure that you're capable of making own decisions. Really seek maybe some quiet, go towards, going out in nature, for example, and really asking yourself what would serve me, what changes do I need to make, what would make me happy, what do I need to do to make any changes. Trust that the answers come, but I do believe that you will be led to that and you are almost ready to take flight. So this is for Cancer. Thank you for listening, Cancer, and I hope you got something for this reading for the full moon in Aquarius. Okay, now I'm going to be moving on to the next sign, which is Scorpios. But I'm going to pause the video here because I actually need to take a photograph for the Cancerians because the cards would have been up on the screen. All right, thanks. Hi there, Scorpios. This is now for your full moon reading. For the overall general reading, which I really recommend that you go back to see on my full moon in Aquarius, you'll get an overview rather of the whole theme, which will also be short messages there for you, as it did with the Cancer. There was some kind of certainly doubling up, which I expected. Okay, so I'm just going to choose 3 cards for yourselves. Okay, so that's 1, 2. I'm using the Light Seers Tarot. Some of you are quite familiar if you're following a lot of other readers. This is a Light Seers box. Okay, it is the tarot. So let's have a look to see what messages are here for you. Okay, so this is what you're recognizing or beginning to see. Okay, so I feel that in some way you know that you need to move away and move on from something as well. Okay, so there's no denying it. Some of you actually already on your way, have made the decision that you're going to be moving away. If not, some of you are going to definitely get the sense that you need to move away, have some kind of closure, to do possibly with an employment, to do with how you work entrepreneurially, maybe, also possibly even in your relationships. Okay, so this is for Scorpios as well, moon, rising, sun, and also your nodes. Again, if you have, you will feel it. To Scorpions, this message will resonate for you, so it doesn't really matter where it falls. But obviously people, if they're cross watchers, you're looking at it because you've got some Scorpio aspect, this will be some message for you. So I also really, I do find that you're definitely moving away, and having to perhaps even experience a sense of sorrow, okay, a sense of letting go. I've got the Six of Swords. You can see her on a boat, but I do feel that some of you have definitely made the decision to go, and I feel that because she's already on a boat and she's got her suitcase there in her hand. So this is something that you are already clear about. You need to leave. Okay, trust maybe where you need to go, even if you can't see the direction you're going into. Okay, there's a sense of having to take flight. Recognizing that something has not served you, and this is time for an emotional letting go as well. So if some of you are feeling emotional, like I said, do trust that. Do journal writing. If you're feeling anger or some kind of emotions as well, do not be afraid to express it, either by journaling for yourself so you can release it out of your own mind and body, but also so you can actually release and start with a clean slate. All right, this is, I think, for some of you, definitely to do with the relationships. We have the Two of Cups. So I think some of you are Scorpios or people in the water sign as well. So if you're actually looking at this, this could be definitely much to do with a relationship as well. Okay, this is about you being very discerning and having to find out, perhaps you were cheated on or lied to. Okay, I'm afraid it's not brilliant here. I've got, this is what needs to fall away. So there's some kind of, because this is in the kind of like what needs to be left. Okay, this is about anything that's not fulfilling you. All right, you need to leave any situation that is not fulfilling you. It could be a love relationship, and it could also be a work relationship. You might have realized that some of the things that you've been offering has been falling just, without it being valued or being recognized. Okay, this is about you what needs to fall away is you recognizing that you deserve to be seen and recognized and valued. Okay, so whatever blocks that you might have had towards that, okay, but I think you know this already, because this is what you're seeing. Okay, and this is what needs to, you deserve, you need to know, or what needs to fall away is that you don't, what needs to fall away is the fact that that the belief that you're not loving or can be loved in a way that you deserve. Now, when I say loved, that's also a sense of appreciation as well, okay, and recognized for the work you do, okay. It may mean that you have to make certain things clear, make the boundaries much more clear as well, okay, and sort of define what your limit is and where you're able to go, and what you also say on an emotional level, not emotional, sorry, in the work level, what your offerings can be, and being really specific around that. All right, I do feel like in some way that this could have come out of the blue, although interestingly, although you were seeing, so I think in some way for some of you, it could be that this has been something that's been brewing for a long time, has now really hit the fan, so to speak, and you are recognizing that you have to leave. But this could also mean now that you really are embracing what needs to happen. Okay, I feel some of you have actually been doing a lot of inner work as well, and recognizing that there's been certain things out of harmony, and this is about you harmonizing your life. Okay, also recognizing maybe where you're not being emotionally fulfilled in certain friendships, possibly as well, certain tribes. This is very much a theme, again, about settling is not, this is the overall theme message that I got, which you'll hear and see fully in the main video for this month, so you can go back to that. Okay, but just to give you a little key here, is settling is out of the question. So again, some of you have been really noticing that maybe you're doing people favors all the time and they're not reciprocating that, or you put yourself out to do some extra work for some people, and again, you're not being remunerated for that. Some friendships, they're like just, they might sort of say they'll call and they don't, time and time again. So you've been hanging on to these friendships because you've loved them and you've had a history with them, and yet there's really nothing sustaining it. So you've really got to now start owning and moving towards friendships that are actually much more. This is also the Seven of Swords. This Seven of Swords is about you really being clear and not deceiving yourself. This is a card of deceit, okay, self-delusion as well, or deceit from other people or yourself. In this reading, I'm reading it as now you actually can hear really what's not working and paying attention to that. Okay, I'm going to open another card for this. Okay, but this is about things being shone. All right, you're able to see this really clearly, and you will do very well to cut your ties actually and moving on to some new environment, some new places, some new groups, friendships. Okay, because I don't feel that you're actually going to be able to release the lie or live in the lie anymore. Okay, we're very good at delusioning, you know, ourselves, or even just hoping for the best, actually putting our hopes in the right places. So I feel like for most of you, for some of you, definitely going to have to move on. Okay, this is actually really lovely. I'm looking at the bottom of the deck. Before I do shuffle another card, you've got the Three of Wands, which is also what the Cancer got. So this is about moving on to new territory, reassessing your value, reassessing what you can offer, reassessing your passion. Also, I've got the Three of Cups here. So this is about moving towards people who nourish and really have your back. If you see the woman in the middle there, she's got her arms around, they've got their arms around each other. This is about people who really love you and really have their place in your life in a way that really gives you cause for celebration and a sense of belonging. Okay, Three of Cups is often about good news as well. This is no time to get into your head about things and then, you know, holding yourself back. All right, you might not be able to see a way forward. You might feel a sense of darkness, and you might be actually fearful of where you may be going. But this is actually an overall message, which is also, have to say, repeating itself according to the other signs so far. Okay, I am going to take one more card for this, where you can be moving to. Okay, interestingly, okay, you will be assessing, I think, but it is actually got the Two of Pentacles here. So this is about you seeing also where you're going to be nourished. This is about weighing up your pros and cons as well, and seeing where you can, you know, she's got two spheres here, obviously in the normal Rider-Waite, or the classic Rider-Waite, it's the Two of Coins. I see this card always, and I love this because it's one of it's the handbag, and one of it's what you carry. Okay, one is where, you know, women carry all their needs in their bag usually. Okay, you know, they've got everything they need in there, their makeup and their this and that, and the notebook and the pens and much more. Okay, and this is what's really important. You need to assess, what do I need for me to be able to carry on and move through in my life. Okay, so do take some time. Don't get into your head about the kind of guilt or anything that will hold you back, okay, or any fear. Sometimes we do have to clear the path completely and the landscape completely to really start actually receiving what we truly deserve. Okay, so this is what I suggest as well for Scorpios. So do move on. I think some of you are ready definitely to move on, be it from any kind of relating that you could be actually experiencing. And so for some of you, it would be on a personal level, and some of you, it would definitely be a work level as well. But every relationship also just mirrors what we need to learn and what we need to do. Okay, again, having shuffled the card, we've got the Ace of Cups, and this is also at the bottom of the deck, and this is what Cancerians go. So this is really owning what you love, how you want to be loved, and where you want to move, and how you want to express yourself. And this is an opportunity. We're going through radical shifts, by the way. So again, if you listen to the main overall reading, you'll find a message of why this is all happening there as well. But it's very much about heart-centered life and getting the stability and the recognition you deserve, either through your personal partnerships or your work. Okay, for a little extra fun, I've got these relaxation cards, and I'm just going to pull one out for Scorpio. So what would serve Scorpios to help you through this time? Because we are going through a time of change. I'm just going to pull one out. Okay, all right, again, you know, keep things light-hearted. Okay, read, you know, maybe watch some comedy. I've got here the lighter side. Okay, so this is from my 52 relaxing rituals. I've had this for years and years, and I used to use them for workshops when I used to take them. Certainly more I used to, this card here as well. But in any case, I used them for, you know, the different needs for workshops and classes. But anyway, this is about you actually finding the humor, not necessarily maybe in a situation, but to lighten things up. So if you are feeling a bit dark, and you did get the Seven of Wands and the Six of Swords rather, okay, right? So there might be some kind of cloud and some kind of general energy that's kind of feeling a bit blue and maybe even a bit of depression. Oh, that made me jump. So really important that you actually recognize that. Okay, trying also to listen to your own counsel and not the noise from other people as well. People have different agendas. Okay, as you move on and make changes, they might say, what are you going to do and what's going to happen, and put the fear of the daylight here. But this is really important that when you're weighing up your own pros and cons, you put what's important for you in that sort of what you need to carry on to move forward. All right, and coming back to the lighter side, so I suggest going to a comedy club, looking at some comics, literal comics, okay, or even, if that's not your normal bag as well, do it, okay, just actually bring some sort of other aspects. I got the word clowning into your life, okay, just play around, okay, or maybe go and see a funny film. It says try and go to a comedy club instead of the movies. Okay, now things have opened up, so this could be an opportunity for you to do that. Okay, read some silly stories, or go to a children's section in a bookstore and maybe read some of the books that are coming out to you, and maybe what might tickle you. This is really important. Okay, laughing and smiling can be contagious, so try walking down the street wearing a grin and see the response you get. So that's a bit fun as well. Okay, so do that. Okay, people either think you completely lost your mind, or they'll smile back. Okay, so I feel that's a really good suggestion to shift the energy, especially when we're feeling a bit dark and blue. Sometimes the very thing we need to do is the opposite, okay, to just break the spell and actually shift the energy. So for Scorpios, bring a bit of light side, or bringing things of humor into your life will certainly also possibly help you move into a better and a happier, brighter situation. But remember, let it lead from your heart. Okay, so I'm going to leave it for the Scorpions here. In fact, I forgot, I was doing this little, you have the red, what you call it? What's this called? Tiger crystal. Okay, this is also really good for not only for protection. Here are my notes, actually. All right, and for yourselves, okay, red tiger's eye, that's what I'm thinking of, sorry. Okay, provides you with motivation for change. So again, if you're feeling a bit blue and flat and blah, and kind of feeling negative, all right, which is I was picking up, some of you definitely feeling, just visualize, if you don't want to buy one, okay, but these are really great to carry around as well. In your pocket or anything like that, or in your sleep state, or holding it during meditation or anything. But if not, just bring a picture up on the screen and then just visualize it and think about taking all these properties in. But this is very good for motivating you to change. So if you're somebody who's actually stagnant and stuck, okay, Scorpios, this will be really good for you and will help you to commit yourself to the change that needs to happen. All right, I'm going to leave it here for the Scorpions. Thanks again, listening, Scorpios, and I'm going to move on to Pisces. Thanks. Okay, this is now for Pisces in the water sign. Okay, I've shuffled the cards already, and if you want to see the overall reading, I suggest you go to my full moon in Aquarius, and you'll get the overall forecast for this month that will affect everybody, but this is specifically to yourself. So I'm going to pull the top card here. So definitely what you're aware of that you definitely need to change. And I think some of you are planning a change. Okay, we've got here the Two of Wands is very much about dreaming up new ideas. I think you need to start feeling, maybe you've been feeling a bit stagnant and you are becoming aware that, and there's a bit of a dream equality about her there. She's got the globe and she's wanting to move on, and maybe even travel and maybe go across the waters or go somewhere else. It could be in your, sort of in your locality, but ultimately there's some thinking and feeling, and this full moon is highlighting the need for you to do this. Okay, I feel with some of you actually really do physically want to travel, okay, or maybe learn some new cultural ideas. Maybe some of you getting very hungry for something very different. All right, do follow that thread of thought as well. Okay, and it doesn't have to be something you're just wanting to dream up, but this is very much a time where this full moon is actually invoking that need to travel and maybe get a bit excitement. Okay, I'm getting a sense of you need something more exciting in your life. Okay, now also what I feel that, wow, okay, what needs, I feel like some of you have actually definitely been here I've got the Eight of Swords in reverse as well. Okay, and I read both reversals and non-reversals depending on the reading. Now because this is what something needs to be falling away, because you've seen that you need to move on and to sort of I feel particularly with you, Pisces, that's definitely a new horizon thing, just sort of wanting to travel and wanting to experience something different, that you've got to release yourself from the chains that hold you back. Okay, if you see that her hands are there and it's an illusion, she's got her hands tied and her head all with a lot of noise, which I really regard the crows to be when they start cawing at you. And it could be the fear. Okay, this is something you need to actually work on and perhaps get into some kind of space where you can actually feel calmer and actually maybe even cultivating on getting quiet, maybe sitting on your yoga mat or going out in nature. We can actually really start listening to the true voices of what's calling you rather than the fear. Okay, so if you get any fear that's come up, ask yourself, okay, if this fear wasn't here, what is it I really want to do? Or if you're getting an form of inspiration and then you're getting a noise in your head about saying, well, oh no, you can't do that because of course, you know, what others going to say, what's mom going to say, or, you know, I don't have enough money or whatever it is. Okay, this is a real opportunity for you to untie yourself. I feel some of you have definitely been settling. Now, for some reason, out of the channeled message that I got, which you will pick up in the main reading, the one key element that I really got, and I made it as my main title, is settling is out of the question. And it's so interesting. I've done now counseling Scorpios, and you're all getting very similar messages. Okay, so this is really key to everybody. Okay, but this I feel like in some way, Eight of Swords is also an illusion that you're binding yourself. So sometimes you can feel that you're totally, you know, that your company or whoever you work for really rely on you. But in fact, yes, they might rely on you, but you put yourself in that position where you allow yourself to be tied to a situation. Okay, because somehow you feel that without you, they won't able to get on with it. Okay, it could be in home life as well. You might be somebody who rescues people, always offering to do things for free, or even at home rather, you know, just over pick up, run after the, you know, members of family or your community, and feel that without your participation, you know, things will happen. You know, you become the over-functioning person, the doer. Okay, so I think it's really important, by the way, that you start actually releasing yourself from those thoughts and believing that, because it's not true. The other thing I really feel, I couldn't help, and this is why I'm stammering or just pausing earlier on, I feel like some of you are in a situation where you're actually feeling very suffocated. All right, there's a sense of kind of real like being held back and being suffocated. And I'm really kind of picking up that this is why you're almost dreaming up and really wanting to feel trapped, maybe that's the word as well, that you need to release yourself. And at the moment, it's just kind of a dream situation and you're thinking about it. Okay, that's not to say that's, you know, this is for some of you. Okay, I mean, interestingly, Scorpios definitely got there on their way already. She was actually on a boat and she had a suitcase. Okay, so some of you are actually very much stepped out of the thinking and now in the action. Okay, here I can't help but feel that Pisces, you're much more, you're noticing and recognizing that you're actually dreaming up and thinking what you need to do. Okay, let's find for the final outcome, which card would be best. Okay, I feel that in some way you have some certain options that are available to you, and you need to really see what's going to fulfill you. The Seven of Cups also sometimes is somebody who I feel is maybe got some fantasy and some dreams, and maybe this is also having too much choice. I will find another card, but this is better to have a lot of choice and not have any choice at all, and start actually feeling which bowl, for example, you are really influenced by, or you're tempted by, or actually know that is true for you as well. Okay, this is really important. I feel that he's about to select one bowl and turn it over. Okay, but all these bowls are face down and each of them have something. Some of them actually could be also you know, more kind of like, when I say artistic, they could be a bit of a trickster. Okay, so be again careful what options you're going for. You might have had some offers as well that could be coming in. Again, really think up what it is that you actually desire to do. Okay, don't be afraid to spend some time creating I feel like some plan, or actually looking at things really slowly and carefully. So once you unbind yourself to think, you know, that you can, how am I going to structure step by step to get out of the situation, and really what do I want to do? So putting a plan in place. I think Pisces, beg your pardon, I've been calling you Scorpios, Pisces. All right, so, you know, beg your pardon if I've been calling it Scorpios all this time. But Pisces, this is really important. Also, I feel for you as well, Pisces, being a water sign as well, and one that you dreams up. You're the most dreamy of, and very intuitive as well, because of course you've got Neptune as your ruling planet. I do feel with some of you as well, going to water at this time, near the beach, to a lake, or any kind of flowing, and maybe even do some movement work that flows, but let your ideas flow for you to start being true to yourself. Perhaps you got very rigid and very structured in your life that you're not allowing, and you've forgotten what it's like to actually flow through life. Okay, there are, I feel in some way that certain things you're able to see clearly, and it will become more apparent as you take your time to start moving towards what you feel to be right for you. Okay, definitely. This is so interesting. The Three of Wands, and I've shuffled this deck several times. We've got the Three of Wands again. Scorpio's got this at the bottom of the deck, and Cancer's got this in the reading. Okay, so this is very much, and Cancer's got this for their outcome, very much about really considering your options. And if you see this figure as well as standing on the foothold of a cliff by water. So again, you, like I said, Pisces, if you can take yourself away for a day, an afternoon, either mentally or physically, towards the coast, or somewhere where you can really feel the water flushing out. I think there's some releasing that needs to happen. Perhaps you even want to write down your fears, and all the kind of mental garbage that you've been holding on to, what needs to fall away, okay, and what is falling away, and release it out into the sea, okay? This would be a really good thing for you. And you'd be surprised, you'd be creating a space where new creativity, a new flow of possibilities and creativity will start to begin to flourish. This is really important. Wow. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, you guys are really, okay, we've got the Lovers here, we've got the Star, and we've got the Fool as well. Okay, so this is definitely new beginnings for some of you. And this is, maybe in some ways, for some, actually really getting the emotional connection that you've been really wanting to go, or towards a business partnership, or coming up with some business ideas, or even an emotional one. Okay, this is about owning your truth. The Stars card is the Aquarius card, and this is about, really pulling in what lights you up. So this is very, very important and very close to the heart. She's got her hands right on her chest as well, and she's calling in. So maybe a bit of prayer or some kind of spiritual practice also will be beneficial to you, and particularly, and I feel that some of you definitely want to free yourself up. It's about really abandoning all thought forms now, and maybe abandoning the old rule books and everything that you believed. Okay, Scorpio, so I feel that I'm just going to leave this reading here for you. If you want a personal reading, you can find my details below, and we can certainly look at your options and explore things further. Okay, so as a bit of an extra for all of the readings I've been doing, I've got this relaxation deck, and I am going to pull a card that will help you during this time of change and transition. Okay, this I'm going to give you two, actually, because I feel that one of it actually is called Primal Scream. I feel some of you maybe need to go to the cliff and really scream. If there's any anxiety or any sense of kind of holding yourself in emotionally, I think it will be really helpful to actually release your tension physically as well. Okay, sometimes it's really good to do that. I know it sounds really daunting, but sometimes actually just to go out and go will really help, or scream at a pillow if you have to. Okay, we tend to live in sort of very closed areas, so sometimes those kind of noises can't, or you feel very uncomfortable, which I feel also this is why I think this is really suited, because there's a sense of being, like I said, suffocated earlier on and being held in. Some of you actually might need to just release the chakra that actually was poignant, I felt, for this full moon, which is also described, and there's a mantra there you can check out, was to do with the throat chakra, which is to do with your voice. Okay, so Pisces, I really feel that you need to release some kind of voice. You feel there's an energy that I feel is very stuck. Okay, there's great promise. The energy is about moving forward, but you do need to do your bit to be able to make that happen. Okay, these things, might feel magical sometimes when it happens. That's because you've actually done the work, and bit by bit, you've elevated your level of vibration as well as your work that you've been doing. Okay, but this is something that some of you might need to be really more focused on, or certainly investing in. Okay, it says here, don't hold your feelings back, and that was very much a message in my main message as well. It's really important for you to express yourself. I feel in some way, like I said, some of you have been stuck and maybe putting yourself on hold, putting everybody else's needs first, and you're now pining for some kind of release and stuff, because this is what she's doing. you know, she's just kind of like, you know, forlorn, looking out the window, you know, wishing almost. Okay, this is, you know, but speak up. If you want to travel, like I said, you want to do something different, speak up. Speak to your partner, speak to your husband, speak to your boss. Okay, right. The other thing I saw, the other card that actually did come out, which I thought was really sweet, I think take yourself out on a date, you know, take yourself out for a coffee, tea, but this is something you really do. There's not a takeaway thing. Okay, this is sitting in a coffee house and maybe really enjoy, you know, different brews or doing something different. Okay, I don't know if some of you know The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. It's a really great book. It allows you to tap into your creativity, to open up possibilities within yourself. And the one way to do that is to do things you normally would not do. Now, despite the fact this is T for one, I'm picking up the fact that some of you could be really doing certain things for yourself. Okay, if it means actually having tea with yourself, going to a fancy tea shop to do that, you know, things are open up now, do that. Okay, you know, take a vacation, taking some time out. Tea is very much not only an English culture thing, but also about you know, sipping, taking things in. Okay, so really allowing yourself to uplift you in any possible way. Okay, it says here, there are dream teas which are said to send you peacefully into slumber. Okay, so, you know, and again, if you're feeling stressed as well, okay, which you are here, all right, all in your head, again, just take some teas that could really help to cultivate some calm for you. Okay, some, you know, the evening teas, if you're not into that kind of thing, I recommend that you definitely reach out for these kind of teas that's got chamomile, lavender, lime flower, valerian root, whatever it is. Just trust which one comes to you. Okay, it will help to release the tension. Okay, some of you might not have been sleeping very well, but that is what I am going to recommend. Now, the other's got a crystal, but I'm actually going to offer the surrender deck. Let's have a look for a little bonus card. Yeah, okay, this I think is really good. This is very keeping here. It's a card of procrastination, and actually this actually is a really good word for this card as well. She's holding on. She's not thinking, oh, till I do this, shall I not do that? And you're holding on so much. And this, actually, the Seven of Cups, okay, it's very much about, you know, being confused, you know, having so many options and actually procrastinating. Sometimes we can get overwhelmed with the choices we've got. Okay, it is really important. So this for yourselves is a really good card. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. Okay, so sometimes the next goal could be something as simple as going and taking yourself out on a date on your own, and then maybe discovering a museum or a gallery, or taking yourself for tea. Okay, do something really different. Take yourself for a tea in a museum, you know, rather than a normal coffee shop or whatever. Be creative in your thoughts, and you'd be surprised what that will shift. Okay, I think that will give you a sense of, also release you from the sense of boredom you're feeling, and a sense of travel, sense of uniqueness, a sense of a different path. Sometimes we don't actually have to travel abroad, like the globe here, which could be for you in some of you, but I think it's also about doing things differently, going about your life in a different way. So I think that's the main message, actually, Pisces. You need to be doing your life in a different way, and I hope this has helped you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, water signs. And please do subscribe and give me thumbs up or comments. It would really help for me to know that you actually are getting value out of this, these readings. Okay, because for my part, it's also very important that I know that you are getting something from it. Okay, again, thanks again, and I shall call the reading here for the water signs, you know, the end. And bless you all, and come back and do watch if you've got your moon sign, you know, in another sign as well. So if you've got your moon, say in an earth sign, say something Taurus, you might find there's a message there for you as well. Again, play around with astrology as you will. You do cross watch, but I do recommend that you go to the main video that I posted up earlier yesterday. Bye for now. Bye.